Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Grants and Contract Podcast with Abe.
And Lainey. Welcome, everybody. We're so excited to have you for today's episode. If you're just joining us or watching a playback, be sure to put in the comments, your name, your organization, or your business, and where you're joining us from.
We've got a lot of exciting things to share with you. And some of this will be, we're going to do it live. So, where it takes us, we're going to find out together and discover the use of AI in government contracting, specifically around proposal writing. And so we are testing out some new tools. And so you guys going to get a chance to really demonstrate this here live with us, how to use AI to help you in your government contracting business, which will showcase a few different tools out there. And then we're going to actually use AI to help us start the drafting of a sources sought response. And all this will be live. And so it hasn't been done before in terms of I didn't do this in advance and then just show you what to do. I'm going to do it live with you as if you're doing it live for yourself. So you'll get a chance to follow with us in a live demo of how to use AI to help you with your government contracting business around creating images, using different AI tools to help you with your overall government contracting business. So really exciting stuff today.
Yes, I'm so excited to dive in. I think I've told this before on the podcast, but Abe is the person that introduced me to AI. It was years ago when AI was just making its entrance. You didn't know kind of what it was. Everybody was talking about robots and crazy stuff. And Abe showed me the first AI, generator that I used that I knew about. I probably had used it before. He showed me ChatGPT and blew my mind. Did not know that there was any such thing as ChatGPT. And I was like, this is a life changer. And I started using it not just for work or writing. Obviously, y'all know I'm a grant writer. At the time, I was doing proposal writing, but even in my everyday life, I started integrating it. I love to cook. So with recipes, with grocery lists, innovating anything, I fell in love with it. So I always, anytime we talk about AI, I'm like, thank you, Abe, for introducing me to AI. You changed my life. And so I'm really excited today to see what new things we're going to learn. And if you're on your computer, this is a great time to follow along. You can go, we're going to be putting links in the chat, and you can follow along with us. And then as always, you want to stay tuned for the end of today's show, because we're going to be sharing some really cool resources at the end that I think is going to help you as you're on your proposal writing journey and your government contracting journey.
So part of the bonuses is we're going to give you the exact prompts that we use today so that you can adapt it to your own specific situation. And we got some other cool bonuses at the end. So stick around to the end. If you're joining us live, thank you for joining us live to the Grants and Contract Podcast. If you're watching this on replay, I always enjoy having all of you watch this on replay as well. So we do both formats of it there. Now, for many of you who's been around a usual, some of you, we've seen you multiple times joining us live. So thank you for always being part of our live podcast here. We love it that you enjoy time hanging out with us. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in terms of using AI to help you with your government contracting business. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So we're just going to dive in and see where all this takes us. Now, before I do that, one quick comment. As we're diving into AI, I want to talk about the benefits of being an early adopter, right? Early adopting tools. Some of you may remember way back in the days where people are asking, what is email, right? Now, this is way before your time, lady. But for many of us, we like, what is email? And we didn't know what it was. And we had to learn what email was. And it's electronic mail, right? And then we said, what is the internet? And what is a website? We went through the information revolution. Now we are going through the AI revolution. And so this presents a whole new world. We're going to go through the robotics revolution as well. Now, back in 2015, I started teaching people about cryptocurrency. And I said, cryptocurrency is here to change the world. And if you are an early adopter, you can really be in the forefront of it. And I remember I used to, when I was teaching people how to use cryptocurrency in their businesses, some people said, crypto, what? And so they were just like, and I would give 10% of a Bitcoin. Well, 10% of a Bitcoin right now, I would give them half a Bitcoin way back in the days, right? Because at that time, Bitcoin was only like, $150, right? So I would say, hey, as a bonus, stay to the end. As a bonus, I'm going to give you half a crypto, half a Bitcoin. And some people, and I had an email, a lady, she emailed me back. She said, hey, but where did you send it to my wallet? Because I just saw, and it's so expensive now. And so they were trying to retrace their wallet because half a Bitcoin now is about $50,000. And we were
I know. Could you give us half a Bitcoin today?
not anymore. But the knowledge and the resources that we're going to teach you today will give you more than $50,000. It can land you a $20 million contract. It can land you a $100,000 grant. So a lot more valuable if we teach you how to do it versus just receiving something in terms of a bonus. But that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right on in, and we're going to talk about how to leverage AI to grow your government contracting business. And you can apply this if you have a nonprofit, you can apply these same principles to your nonprofit world as well. So share my screen. We're going to dive in. Mm-hmm.
And just before we get started, a couple of things. I'm working on the same class kind of for the nonprofit side. A lot of these things translate, but when I'm doing grant writing, I use AI, not to necessarily write my grants, but for research and some things we're going to talk about here. So I'm working on a class for that as well. But something I want to leave us with before we dive into the examples is just like, anything new that's coming out. I know that there's few people, but they still they were on the back end of email. Maybe they were on their way to retire and they say, I'm not getting into email. I met a person, one of my clients, he does not do email. And I don't know how you survive in this world without email. Everything's through email. But there will come a time, I think, this is my opinion, but I think Abe would agree with me, where you at some point will have to use AI. You're watching this, so you're already intrigued in it, you're wanting to learn about it. And I think there's this funny thing that people are talking about that AI is going to steal our jobs. And I heard this quote that AI is not going to steal your job, but somebody that knows how to use AI well will steal your job. So I think that in the future, and I mean, with what I do, I use AI, I would say, on a daily basis, that it will be integrated into your life. So let's learn about it. Let's be on the forefront of it and be the one stealing other people's jobs that don't know how to use AI.
Or another way to say is using AI to steal other people's contracts, right? Because if you know how to use the tools, you can win more contracts because it's going to help you to be more compliant, more thorough. And you'll see some of that happen today. So yeah, using AI as your friend to help you get potential jobs if that's what you're looking for, or to get contracts that your competitors, if they're not using AI, they're a step behind you. So, okay, so first of all, I'm going to introduce you guys. There's a lot of proposal tools out there. And so if you stay to the end, we're going to share this link to you. There's a lot of different proposal writing tools out there. And I've been aggregating, and you can see lots of proposal writing tools out there. So, and you can feel free to use any of these here as you want to. This list will be available to you. Stick to the end. And you'll get a chance to check out all these different proposal tools. Now, some of them are for commercial type of proposal writing, but the first ones up here are specifically related to government contracting. And some of you may have used some of these here. Some of these may be completely new for you. Today, I'm not going to talk about the paid services because these are very expensive, $800 to $1,000 a month. So they're very expensive. They're not for the newbies, the small businesses. But if you have the resources, absolutely use them to help you to get more contracts. I'm not going to use this as our demo today. I'm going to use the free tools, and the free tool that we're going to use, it's a tool called Perplexity. And Perplexity is one of my favorite. And you can use ChatGPT, you can use Copilot, you can use Claude. Claude has a limit because some of the data is pulling from is about 6 months to a year old. So Perplexity, put in the chat if you've used Perplexity before. Put in the chat, just say yes, I've used Perplexity. Perplexity is my favorite new tool that I've been using for a few months now, and what I love about Perplexity is built upon multiple large language models and multiple databases, AI databases out there. So it's just not just one, but it's multiple collection, multiple databases, AI tools out there, LLMs, and it pulls it all into, and so it pulls from that there. And the most important thing about Perplexity is it pulls from real internet sources, live internet resources. So if you're doing some deep research on something, it will look at everything that's relevant right now. So I'm gonna start not necessarily with proposal, but I'm gonna show you quickly on how to use Perplexity to help you do research. So I'm gonna move my camera a little bit, and instead of the auto, I'm gonna go and use the deep research. Deep research allows me to do really it search the whole internet and gives me the most relevant to what I'm trying to find out. So for example, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say think like a government contractor. How will Doge and the right, so I'm just a very simple prompt here. Think like a government contractor. How will Doge and the Trump administration impact my business? List out the top 10 greatest risks to my business, right? And it's gonna go and it's gonna go through a thought process. So it's saying, okay, um, it is doing the research, and it's telling me its reasoning and what it's doing, right? It says, I will research the articles and analysis regarding the risks associated to Doge, as well as other potential impacts of the Trump administration's policy on government contractors. Then it starts to give me some more. It goes to different resources, the different news, different government-related blogs, PwC, Denton. Some of these are law firms that have written articles about the impact of Doge and the Trump administration on government contractors. And this is really exciting for some of you that have not used Perplexity before, because now it's going to start to think, and it's going to continue to. It says, okay, I found several articles, and then it's saying, okay, you know what? I'm searching more, and then in about a few minutes, it's going to give me the top 10 greatest risk to my business as a government contractor. So this is one example of how we're using Doge. Now, in a second, or how we're using Perplexity. In a second, I'm going to use Perplexity to help us write a source of sought response to an opportunity. So while this is working, I'm going to go to Sam while this is working, and I'm going to find an opportunity. Assuming I am a health IT company, I'm going to come into sam.gov, and I'm going to go and put in here EHR. And
I have a question, Abe. While you're doing this, and we can go back to Perplexity in a minute, but can you actually click on the sources like that they give you and read the articles? That's really cool.
You can actually do that, and we'll look at that in 1 second. Okay, so I'm looking for some ERP solutions and also some electronic health record solutions out there. So I put in a keyword, it pulled up this opportunity here, and I can actually go into it. And then we're going to use this opportunity as an example of what we're going to go through in terms of using Perplexity to help me draft the early version of what my sources saw or RFI response needs to look like. So I'm in here now. So this is the opportunity. It is, and again, we're doing this live here. I have not gone through this exercise. I've created the prompt so to save some time, but I have not run the prompts yet. So you'll get a chance to see it real time. So this is due in March 24th. So, we technically have plenty of time at this point here to put this together. So it goes into the, the description of what they're looking for. They're seeking, some, modernization to what they've got, and it gives out a little bit of background. So I found opportunity. Now that I found opportunity, I need to track this opportunity. So let me come back to Perplexity to see what is, okay. So Perplexity is done. So let's talk to Perplexity first, and then we'll come back to the opportunity. I want to maximize our time here. So the Doge spearheaded by Elon Musk, and goes into this here, and it gives me the top 10 risk to my business, right? The abrupt contract termination and stop work orders. Now, this is real. Lay and I were with the Government Contract Association. We have members that have said, my contract just got terminated. Multiple members that we know of that have received either stop work orders, but more so termination for convenience by the government. So this is very real. This is the greatest risk, right? And it talks about regulatory uncertainty, talks about False Claims Act. Now, this is also very real too. They're saying that if you have any DEI programs, if you are a government contractor and you have a DEI program, you have to state that you do not have a DEI program. And if you have it and you just call it something different, and they find that you do have it, you can be liable through the False Claims Act for lying to the government, which can impact your business, right? So they go into all these risks. So Perplexity can be used to do deep research. Now, what Lainey said earlier is this here. It gives you the sources. So if you actually want to go to the sources, you can click on it, and then it will take you to the source of where it came from itself. So it's not just giving you, it's like, remember some of us, our college years, you have to cite all the sources. So Perplexity will cite the sources so that you can get a further read on this here, so that you can form your own opinion to see if Perplexity is giving you the right thought process here. So that's
yeah,
the first. Mm-hmm.
That is such a cool addition that you can cite the sources, because anytime I'm doing any type of research for, maybe you are writing a white paper, or even just putting statistics and true data in a proposal that you're writing, we don't want to just believe AI. And sometimes the AI will say that, make sure to recheck the information. So I always try to do that. But sometimes according to which AI platform I'm using, I actually have to go on Google and type in the data and see if I can find the source. So you're already getting the source from Perplexity that you're able to, if you do have to cite a source, or a lot of times for what I'm doing, I'm not citing a source like you're saying in college in MLA format, but I just want, for peace of mind, to know that what I'm putting out is truthful and is what the true data says. So that's a really cool resource.
Absolutely. All right. So coming back to our RFI, we're going to use this opportunity here. So now you can use sam.gov. You can use any tools you want out there to find opportunities. But now that I found this opportunity, I'm going to take this here. I'm going to use our pipeline management software. So I'm going to come to GovGenie. Now, for some of you who are not set up on GovGenie, you can actually get started on GovGenie for free. You can manage up to 30 opportunities in here. And the advantage of using this here is, if you find it on SAM, the way you track this here is you have to track it through Excel sheet, or through some, through Salesforce or some other tools, which copy paste. It takes you a lot of time. In this situation, I found an opportunity, and I'm just going to come into GovGenie. I'm going to paste the title here or the solicitation number. and it's going to pull up the same opportunity here. So GovGenie pulls data directly from sam.gov. So I'm going to click on this opportunity, and based upon this here, I say, okay, you know what? I'm going to add it to my bid board. So I'm going to click on add to my bid board. And again, it's a tool that it's a freemium tool. So you can get started, manage up to 30 bids on GovGenie, no cost to you. So I just added my opportunity. So it's this project here. And I'm going to go ahead and drag it to scoping. And scoping just means that I'm looking to see if I can meet all the requirements. It's going to ask me 10 questions. Can I meet the proposal due date? Yes, I have plenty of time. And do I have the required past performance? And, so I just answer all these different questions based upon my situation. And at the very end, it's going to give me a score. So it's going to say, okay, moderate chance of success. I'm going to hit submit. It's going to track this data for me. Next thing is, I've got this here. I'm ready to start drafting my opportunity here. So I'm going to click on, I'm going to go back inside of the opportunity. And the opportunity is in here. The link back to sam.gov is here. So now I've got this project. I'm ready to move on to the next step. So I've got this project. What I want to do is I want to download all these documents. Or in here, there's only a few documents. So I'm going to download all these documents, which I've already done. So I'm going to show you for the purpose of time. I've downloaded all my documents. I put it into a folder called ERP project for Department Treasury. I also put in my a technical proposal that I've done in the past, my sources sought response template that I've done. And so I put a cover letter and my business proposal. I put a few documents in here. The documents directly from SAM are these 4 documents here. And so I've also put all those documents in here. This is my prep work. So now I'm going to go back to Perplexity, and I'm going to start a new thread. So inside of Perplexity, I'm going to start a new thread, and I'm going to use my prompt that you will receive at the end of the class. So my first prompt is this here. So so my opportunity came from, let me zoom in a little bit here so I don't have to manually zoom in. So my first prompt is this here. Act as an expert proposal writer. The company MTG Consult is submitting proposal to the Department of Treasury in response to this request for information, IT operation modernization. The RFI ID number is this. The RFI includes a draft of the performance work statement. Now, some documents you have to change this out, right? Instead of PWS, it will say statement of work. So depending on these documents that you're looking at, sometimes they will call it SOW instead of PWS, and many of you are familiar with that. So I just want to point that out. So when you're using this prompt here, you can adjust as you need to. And it says that, describes the work to be performed. The PWS and the proposed instructions are attached along with the relevant documents. Review the draft PWS in the attached instruction document and create a detailed outline of the sources sought response, proposal response. Ensure the outline covers all the items specified in the instruction. Be sure to follow the RFI proposal instruction exactly. For individual section headings, use the same words as the proposal instructions. And then I put in here, I've attached this, I've attached this, I've attached this here. So this is my prompt. So now I'm going to copy my prompt. And again, you have to tweak this here to your specific project that you're pursuing. And I'm going to go to Perplexity. I hit started a new thread. So I'm going to come here. I'm not going to use deep research. I'm just going to use the auto. And then I'm going to paste it in here. Now, here's the magic, right? This is where I can attach all my documents in here. So I'm going to click this attachment. I'm going to go to my folder where I've just saved it. I'm going to go to my proposals. And I'm going to go to this specific proposal here. And I'm going to attach these here. So it's not letting me do it. So I need to convert these 3 documents into PDF because I think it's the older document file and it's docx. So any doc, Perplexity will not read that because it's the older format. So I need to convert these file into specifically a PDF so that it can read through it. So like I shared with you earlier, right, that we're doing this here live, and so you are actually getting the live version of this here. So um, so I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to turn this into a PDF, and um, save that. I'm going to go to the next document, which it just did it here, right? I'm going to go to this document, and then I'm going to convert this into PDF again. Change it to PDF. And this is what you're going to do as it relates to tweaking your documents for the purpose of using with AI. So I've done that one. Then I need to do the this other one here, and then save it as a PDF. All right, so now I've got that done. I don't need to save it again. So I've got it all in PDF now. So I'm gonna come back to Perplexity. I'm gonna click on Attach. Go back to my file folder. So I'm going to attach this documents. I'm going to attach these documents and these documents. So I'm going to put it into Perplexity. And Perplexity is going to have access to these documents as it's preparing this here for me. So my prompt is in here. I've attached my documents, the RFI, the sources sought documents, and all my other documents and templates that I put in there. So I'm going to go ahead and let Perplexity do its work. So I've asked the question. I've created the prompt. And my first goal here is I just said to create a outline of what needs to happen, right? Because at this point here, if I'm Perplexity is not going to be able to write a whole proposal for me. It's going to it's only as smart as the instructions that I give it. So now it's preparing, and it says, okay. It gives me outline. It gives me a table of content. It gives me an executive summary. It talks about my technical approach and talks, under my technical approach, it gives me an outline of the different items. And then it talks about corporate experience, which is really in our world, it's called past performance. So it's using the right terminology here. When you actually change it, when you actually use this outline here for your full proposal, what you want to do is instead of corporate experience, you want to change this to past performance. It does say that here, but in terms of 5, because this is government contracting, you want to use past performance here. And core competencies are all normal personal qualifications. And so it gives me a great outline of what I need to do in responding to this here. So now I have the outline. I need to go to my next prompt. So I'm gonna come back to my next prompt. And my next prompt is I'm gonna use this here, right? So instead of first section, I'm gonna use the outline. And I'm gonna say, helped. I'm gonna start with the technical approach, right? So I'm going to specifically ask it to help me to write my technical approach using my company's experience, a technical proposal that I attach in here. Because if you guys remember, in here, in my documents, I attach a technical proposal that we've done previously, because it won't know, Perplexity won't know everything about my company, all my history. Now you can put 4 or 5 different technical proposals related to similar project, and it will use that to build your to help you write this here. So I'm going to ask it to do the first part here. So I'm going to say demonstration of comprehension of the PWS objective analysis of the ITOM support system. So I'm going to take these exact verbiage. I'm going to come back to Perplexity here, and I'm going to go to here. I'm going to ask a follow-up, but I'm going to use my prompt. So I'm going to say here, use this prompt, write the first section using the source to respond template. I've attached, be detailed. So I'm going to change this a little bit to fit my situation. So that's the general prompt here. But I'm going to paste this here. So I'm going to say instead of write the first section, I'm going to say, let me move my camera. So I might look a little funny to you guys, but I need to be able to see my screen here. So I'm going to copy this here. So write not the first section. I'm going to say here, write the technical approach. And then I'm going to paste this here. So write the technical approach section. 4.1, understand the requirement, demonstration, comprehension of the objectives, and then analysis of the ITOM support services needed. So it's going to be enter here. Use, right, the sources saw RFI response template, and I'm going to use the specific file name because I want it to pull specifically from this here. So I'm going to use the specific file name. I'm going to come back here. And let's see here. So it says use, let me expand this again. So I'm going to say use the source start template and the technical proposal and the file, the PDF file, technical proposal, MTG consultant, which I've attached as a guide. Be detailed and thorough, use a formal tone with the focus on present information in a clear and detailed manner, right in the active voice. So now I can remove these two here. So now I've created my second prompt, and I'm going to see what this will do. And again, this is for this example, I haven't run it yet. So this is we're doing it all live together. We're learning, or you're seeing me do this here live as you're learning this process here. All right, so now it comes, they say, okay, under technical approach, understand the requirement. MTG Consult has thoroughly reviewed the draft performance work statement and so forth, issued by this and so forth. Specifically, MTG understands that OOC aims to obtain specialized expertise. And it's saying we understand what you're doing, right? And then goes into specific things. And it says, MTG understands that the current IT environment consists of a mix of current and legacy services. So it's writing it to taking all the things I've done and is addressing this here to the specific, because way earlier I asked it to use the same words that the RFI is using. And it says, we possess the expertise, experience necessary to address these requirements effectively. MTG will deliver high quality functional product measured by the appropriate metrics, incorporates agile methodology, which is technical terminology used in IT, and some of this here is pulling from my technical proposal, and that's where it's pulling from. Now, the better my technical proposal sample I have that I put in here, the better it's going to be. Now, for example, let's assume you're a newer company and you don't have a technical proposal. One way to do that is you can actually do a FOIA request of a company that won a contract and ask for the winning proposal. You receive that, and then you can use that technical proposal to build your library of technical proposal response. So now I've got all this here. It's done this here for me. It's addressing all of the different items in here. It actually even creates a chart for me here, addressing what I need to do here, specifically addressing everything that's in the document itself. So that's for this first part, right? Now I can go back, or actually, let me go back here. So that was just for the first part, because they gave me multiple areas. Then I need to go to my technical solution. I need to go to my management approach. And then, so now my third prompt is I'm going to talk about our management approach. I'm going to ask Perplexity to help me with my management approach. So I'm going to go back here, and it's going to be very similar to this here. So I'm just going to pull from here. So I'm just going to come back to this here. So yeah, it's further down here. So now I'm going to copy this here. I'm going to paste it in here. But this time, instead of my technical here, right, I'm going to talk about my management approach. So now I'm going to say, write the section 3 management approach with consideration of project management methodology. Even though it said earlier, I'm going to talk about, and quality assurance processes. Actually, comma here. And risk management strategy.
I just wanted to put in, if you're just joining us, please put in where you're joining us from and what organization. We thank you so much. And if anybody that's, just joining us or has been following along, if you have any questions, be sure to put them in the chat, and Abe will be sure to answer those. And as we're walking through, this is really good information and teaching us, those prompts for using the AI for help with anything government contracting.
So now I'm going to use my business proposal file. So I'm going to come back to my prompt, and I'm going to add the business proposal, which is attached as a guide, and then I'm going to do the prompt. Now, again, this will never replace you as a person writing this here. But it's designed to give you more a guide of how you need to think. Now, you may have to come back and tweak and change some of this here a little bit, and make it less AI words. You can't tell AI to not make it AI, right? Because it is an AI. But there is another tool. While this is being done, I'm going to share with you guys another tool. It's called Literal. So we do subscribe to this. It's used more for student purposes. So I'm going to log in. It's like 19 bucks a month, so it's super affordable. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to, um, let's see here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm going to come in here, and what literal will do is this here, assuming that I'm going to take my prompt in here. So I'm going to take my project, my management approach. I'm going to copy this here. And I'm going to ask literal to take my information. I'm going to use Harvard MLA, and I'm going to use Harvard. So I'm going to give it the instruction. I'm going to say, take let me zoom in so you guys can see a little bit better. My management approach, paragraphs below, and humanize the text. The humanizing the text makes it sound more like a person writing this here versus an AI writing this here. So you can use this here as a way to help you. All right. Oh, I need to put the source in here first. So it's just, yeah. But use this here because of time. Let's come back to proposal. So because I have to take this document, save it as a PDF, and then upload it to Literal. So, but you get the idea. It's gonna take all this here. Is gonna humanize these terminology. Now, I wouldn't always use that. It's better for you just to review it and write it out yourself, tweak it yourself. So now that we've done all this here, right? So we've taken all this here. Now the next thing is I'm going to talk about risk management strategy. We're going to use another AI tool to help you to. A lot of text is bad in proposal writing. So you can have the text, but you also want to create images. So I'm going to show you another tool that as we start to take all of this here, we're going to use a image generator to help us communicate our message in a more concise and more visual way. So I'm going to copy all this here. And then I'm going to copy this here. I'm going to use a different tool. And Lane is going to type this tool into the chat for you guys to use this here. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to paste what I just did here. So our risk management strategies include, so now I've got this here. So I'm going to see this lightning bolt here. This is magic, right? I'm going to click this lightning bolt. And it's going to create magic for me. So it's going to give me, AI is going to give me a visual of what it thinks I'm trying to communicate through a visual image here. So risk management process, this might be good, in terms of what I'm trying to communicate. I'm going to, keep showing you different options here, right? This might be good too. I kind of like this here because it's easier for me to follow. So, I like this one probably the most so far. This is using pipeline, or I guess plumbing pipes as an example of, goes from one section to another section. I can use, this kind of like a spiral. I can use, a row path, and so lots of different ways of how I can communicate. These arrows are kind of interesting too. This is interesting, right? But I'm going to just choose one. I'm going to choose this one here because I feel like, okay, this is pretty, it communicates. If I don't like these colors, I can actually change the colors. I can change it to black and white. I like colors, so I'm going to use this here. So now I've done, I did this here. Then all I need to do now is I just need to download it. And I'm going to export it as a, as a PNG file so that I can put it in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this here. I'm going to come back, assuming this is my proposal here. I'm just going to come and now I'm going to paste this in here, directly in here. So now I've got my visual, and then if this is my risk management here, right? And I've got a whole bunch of text. I can still have the words if I want to. So I'm going to copy this here and I'm going to say, okay, assuming this is what I want to communicate, I'm going to put the image first. And then at the end, I'm going to put my text. So now they can see the image, they can follow it visually, and then they're going to see the text. So now my proposal just earn more points, and just as simple as in 30 seconds, I'm able to create an image. I didn't have to pay a graphic designer. I didn't have to design it myself, which would have taken, if I was going to design this myself, it was going to take me probably about an hour, hour and a half to make all these different things, make it nice and pretty. And for many of us, we won't even know how to create this image, right? AI did it in 30 seconds. Push a button, the lightning bolt, boom, multiple visualization is at my fingertips. So now my proposal is going to look more compelling, is going to communicate better to the contracting officer and the review team that's looking at this here. So at this point, I'm going to pause for a second and see if there's any specific question to see how, what we've covered so far. And then we're going to do one more prompt after this here. Any questions about using AI to help you with your proposal process? So I'm going to go to my, I'm going to use one of my last prompt here. And in Perplexity, again, you have to just go through section by section by section by section using Perplexity or Copilot or ChatGPT. I just happen to like, again, Perplexity a little bit more. So if you do have questions, put in the prompt. We'll answer some of your questions. All right, so now I'm going to say, okay, write a compelling introduction to the RFI. So we'll start response proposal, highlighting our unique qualifications and our company's ability to deliver exceptional result. Use attached technical proposal, cover letter, and any other relevant documents attached, or from your AI experiences to write a compelling introduction. Let's see what Perplexity give us. Again, AI is only as good as the prompts you give it. And the more detailed you can do, the better you're going to be in terms of AI being a tool for you. So it says it's pulling from all these resources that we've attached in here. So now it's writing my introduction. So it says MTG, or more so, and we call it a executive summary, right? MTG Consulting is pleased to submit the proposal to the OOC, request information. We understand that OOC seeks to modernize IT. So it's using the exact verbiage that they're using. As an established certified 8A company with a proven track record delivering exceptional results to federal agency, including the Department of Treasury, MTG brings a distinct blend of agility, innovation, and deep domain expertise. We have deep understanding. So it's summarized. It gives me a very short executive summary. Now I can come back in here, and if I want to follow up, right? It says it talks about our proven track record, and I'm going to come and do one more follow-up prompt. In the introduction, add 2 more past performance to demonstrate our capability to perform on this project. So now, why? Because as a contracting officer, you're looking for relevant past performance. So in the first version, it only said we've done work with Department of Treasury, right? Which is not strong enough. So I've asked it to add 2 more past performance. So now it says, okay, Department of Treasury, for example, MTG successfully modernized IT infrastructure with the FAA, resulting in 30% increase in efficiency and 20% reduction of this. Additionally, we've streamlined data processes for the Department of Homeland Security, enhancing. So this is stronger, right? By one simple prompt, I just made my summary, my executive summary, more enticing to the contracting officer and the review team, because now I'm speaking very specific to successful project that we've executed on. So that's part of how you use AI to help you write proposals. So let's see if there's any questions. Someone said, I've been using these tools separately, but never thought of combining them to make a proposal. Absolutely. Robert, that is a very great comment. Yeah, these tools are here. Now, again, you can use the paid services, right? I share with you paid services, but they're very expensive. And if you have the financial resources, use the paid services because it automates some of the processes that I showed you on how to do it on Perplexity. But for most of you who are small businesses, you're budget conscious, this is the way to do it here. So with that,
Yeah.
Lainey, any other items we need to cover before we give out bonuses and talk about next week's class?
Yeah, so we had one more question, and it was about Napkin AI and if it can create picture-like images.
Napkin AI is a tool used to create flowcharts and graphics. There's other tools out there that you will use to create images. So if you just want traditional images, like you want to prompt it to create a dog swimming in the ocean with sunglasses on, drinking a martini, you will use either ChatGPT, their image creator, or you can use other tools. But for Napkin AI, it's a tool specifically to create graphics for you. But there are many other tools out there. This is the only tool I know of that does this type of images and graphics. Most other tools do traditional images and other stuff out there. But this is specifically for this use case.
Yeah, perfect. Well, thank you so much for answering that. Yeah, thank you to everybody that joined today. Make sure I'm going to put our contact information. If you have any more questions about anything, feel free to reach out to us. And this will be a playback on our YouTube Live. So I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to put our email in there to reach out. Abe, as always, let's do a little GovCon plug, because we have this amazing government contracting community and we would love for you to join.
Yes, Lane and I, we helped created what's called the GovCon community, and it is a tool, or it's a community where you can come and you can do a lot of different things on here, and you can come and just get in there. You don't have to be a subscriber if you don't want to, and just start using some of the resources in the community. You can come in here, and if you want to see what's happening in the world of government contracting, you can come to the news summary. And so what we've done is we use AI and we've used other different tools to aggregate government contracting news into one place. So you can come in here, so the FAR Council is saying that they're going to start using NIST SP 800-171, which is really the standard for CMMC, for non-DoD contractors. So that means if you are a business doing government work for CDC, NIH, for the Department of Education, for any civilian agency, they're going to start proposing changes in compliance outside of DoD. DoD, CMSC has only been mandated for, um, you know, DoD agencies, Army, Air Force, Marines, and Air Force, as well as Space Force and other agencies out there. But they're saying that they're going to start to do the groundworks to require other non or civilian agencies to start processing, or at this point it's going to be still a way off, but now they're looking into how to do this here with non-DoD agencies. So it's very important to know. And so you see a whole bunch of other news articles all in one place, and we look at it almost on a daily basis and add news content into here. So that's one way how you can use the community. We also put a lot of events in the community. We have GCA events, so you can come look at GCA events, what's happening at GCA, all the different classes that we're doing. The podcast, obviously, Lainey and I. So you guys came to this event, right? AI and GovCon. And then there's other industry events. So we put a whole bunch, everything that we can find in the world of government contracting, and we put it in one place. So if you're looking for a event to attend, doesn't matter, if we see it, we put it. If it's related to government contracting, it's in here. And so there's a whole bunch of different contracting events happening on a regular basis. And it's just a matter of you being part of the community to really learn how to use this here. So there's, in Korea, we normally lead a team of US companies to South Korea for the largest public procurement event. And this year, we're not leading a delegation to this event here, but we've done it multiple times in the past, where they actually host us and they pay for our flights, our plane tickets to go over there. For a few companies, they actually pay for your hotel rooms and all that stuff. But if you're interested in this here, reach out to them. And if you're from the US, and you ask them, they will probably cover your flight and maybe your hotel costs. So, because they want US companies to go to this event here. So, and plus lots of other different events here. So use this here. Now we do have a store. We have free resources in here. You can get unsolicited proposal, your 8A narrative, your capability statement templates. We have a class called our PREP program. The PREP program stands for Procurement Readiness Educational Program. And in the PREP class, when you graduate from the PREP class, you will have your capability statement completed. You will know how to find NAICS code. Now, some of you are a little bit more advanced, so you say, oh, I already have that. Well, PREP, we will redesign your capability statement, make it better. Your capability video, your capability PowerPoint, your capability website, your Dream 100, vendor registration. So it takes you through all these different things. When you finish this is an 8-week program. When you finish this here, you have a marketing campaign in place. You have a capture team in place. You know how to find opportunities, how to do pricing, and having a funding strategy so that when you win a contract, who's going to fund your project. So lots of different things happening here. If you're interested, just come in here or reach out to us and let us know that you're interested in these programs here. So with that, it's free to get started in the GovCon community or membership. Right now, we actually have a super, because this is a new community, we actually have a founding member special. So you can be a founding member for $25 a month. So it's never going to be this cheap ever again. So this is your opportunity to become a founding member of the GovCon community. And so come and join us and be part of the community. Lots of great benefits and value in here. You can read all about it here. So Lainey, any other topic you want to talk about next week's event? And before we wrap up here?
Yes. So we have a podcast every single Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Next week, we're going to be talking about building your government contracting teams. So this is going to include prime, subcontractors, vendors, and other key partners. I'm going to put the link to register so you will not miss that. And we'll be so excited to see you. And Abe, are you ready for the giveaways?
Yes. So our podcast next week, we're going to talk about teaming partnership, and we're going to talk about lots of other, what's the difference between a prime, a sub, a mentor protege, joint venture relationship. So that's what next week's podcast. But our giveaway for today is Lainey's putting all the um, bonuses, the prompt into the chat. And so if you haven't seen that yet, go ahead and do that there. So you get the prompt to the proposal prompts that we use today. You also, get the list of all the proposal writing software so you can test those things out. And then we're going to do a bonus. We're going to give out and we've never done this before. So let me set this up a little bit, and we're going to give out a really cool bonus for anybody that's stuck around this long here. And let me come in here, and I'm going to set this up. And then we're going to, I'm going to give out this bonus in 1 second. So this is, I'm going to call this here the, all right. So let me go ahead and share what this bonus is. So I'm going to share my screen, and I share with you guys this bonus. This is an impromptu bonus. We normally give out a lot of bonuses, but this is going to be the first time we're going to do a bonus like this here. So
I'm very intrigued of what it is. You have not
yeah.
announced what it is yet.
So you guys saw how I demonstrated how you can manage your pipeline in GovGenie, and this is your pipeline here, and all your bid, all your opportunities are in one place. And so this too is very affordable, but we're going to give everybody a bonus. If you're not currently on GovGenie yet, we're going to give you a bonus, and the coupon code is called podcast. So when you come in here and you're new to GovGenie, you come to GovGenie, and you're going to set up your account, and you're going to get a 10% discount. So if it's $99, you're going to get $10 off of this here. So you can get set up on GovGenie. Most of the other tools out there are, if you're going to use a tool, in fact, there is no tool like GovGenie that exists in the government market, because many of them are only bid matching tools. So GovGenie is the only tool that will allow you to manage your pipeline in the manner of how it's set up here. You can manage your proposal. You can manage a lot of different things here. Once you get set up on GovGenie, you can set up a demo with our team, and we can show you how better to use GovGenie. So that's our bonus for the day, is a 10% discount using the word podcast. As you go through the checkout, at the very end of the checkout, it's going to say apply the coupon, and you put that coupon podcast there, and then that's how you get the 10% discount. So with that, it has been a joy hanging out with all of you. Thanks for spending time with us at the Grants and Contracts podcast. And we're going to be right back here next week. If you haven't liked or subscribed to our channel yet, please click on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel so that every time we do a podcast, you'll get a notification. And it helps us with the algorithm and our reach to other government contracting community as well. So that's how you can give back to us, by adding value to us in that way there. But Leigh and I, we enjoy hanging out with you guys.
Yes, we've had such a great time. And thank you, Abe, for this so much information and teaching us how to better use AI for our businesses. So yes, everyone, please join us next week for Building Your Government Contracts team. And we will see you then. Remember, you're only one grant away
and one contract away from all your dreams, hopes, the next employee you want, the next home that you want, and the new office that you want. So one grant, one contract away. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.
Yes. Thank you. Bye bye.